is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem.
Hey there folks, and welcome to this Easter Friday vlog of mine. Not that there's much Easter in the vlog itself, but it is Easter Friday. The sun is shining. I was up early this morning, shot off to get the car washed, to get my shopping done, went off to the gym and got the gym session done, and now I'm ready to relax for this Easter weekend. I'm in quite a privileged position because my job allows me to have the bank holidays off, so I do get these nice little extended sort of weekends and what have you when they come about for the bank holidays. So yeah, so now that I've done all of that, I'm ready to do my little vlog and relax for the weekend with some gaming and some TV. It depends on what the weather's like if I'm forced out, but tomorrow's definitely going to be a veg day. This vlog, I do have a few specific things that I wanted to talk about. Firstly, I wanted to talk about why the channel's been a little bit quieter than it has been in months previously, and what's involved when I put videos up. And I wanted to talk a bit about what I've been playing and what I might not have been playing. And also, there's a lot of special offers on, so I was going to rattle through some special offers that I've seen in the gaming store online, predominantly the PlayStation store, and I'll explain why I've not done much on the Microsoft one. So let's crack into it all, shall we? So you'll have noticed that I've been trying to put up 1 or 2 videos a week for the last few weeks, maybe 3 weeks or so. It's been a little bit quieter. Every now and then with the channel, when it starts feeling like work and not fun, I always back off a little bit from the channel because I never want it to feel like work. I always want it to feel like I'm enjoying myself and that I'm sharing a fun moment with you guys, and I'm not forcing videos up simply to force videos on at the channel. And I realise it's a bit frustrating if you guys want to see me do stuff, but the reason for it is that I simply will not do a video just for the sake of doing a video. I always have to feel like I'm in. It sounds like it's an easy thing to do, right? So if all I did was sit down, play a game, and then post up the footage, it would be, I guess, relatively quick. Okay? But that's not what I do, because when I built the channel, I wanted to do everything in a specific way. As time's gone on, I've bettered it and I've tried to make things crisper, make things nicer, and I'm always adding to it, and I'm always sort of I built mine with a brand attached to it, if you like. So, and I apologise if people have seen me do vlogs with this sort of content in it before. Cheers, everybody. Happy Easter. It wouldn't be Easter, it wouldn't be a vlog without a flagon of ale, people. Come on, I thought I'd introduce it early. Oh, it's very nice, that. I'd share it around, but you know I'm a stingy bugger. So because I've attached all of this this look and feel to my videos when I post them up in the channel, and in I think my last vlog or the one before, I talked about the fact that I'd enhanced the banner and I'd changed the intro-outro thing for my vlogs, this sort of thing, and I spent a long time getting my new background and everything tweaked with the little controller icons, all that sort of stuff. But when you look at my videos, and I did talk about this in a recent vlog, but when you see the ins and outs of my videos with the Houston, we have a problem and all this, now in order to do that, I record the footage on Elgato, and then I have a Movie Plus software package of which when I finish recording on Elgato immediately spits out an MP4 version of the file. So it doesn't take it long. So if you do an hour, it maybe takes it a couple of minutes to render it. It's quite quick into the MP4. And then that file, I then put into Movie Plus, and Movie Plus I then put in my intro clip, my outro clip. Now for any new game that I do, I need to create those as little separate movie files. So they get imported. So, and then you drag in one, drag in the main video, drag in the end, the outro, if you like. And with a vlog, well, the vlogs aren't so bad because they're never as long as the main capture. However, they can take more time if I start putting footage of games and stuff behind me talking, that sort of thing. But at this point, I'm specifically talking about me recording games. So let's say I record for an hour, and well, okay, it depends on the game, but let's say I just record for an hour, Okay, and I don't have to edit it down. I try not to edit them down as much as I can, but things like Kingdom Come Deliverance, I can play for 3 hours and only use an hour and a half of that footage because nobody wants to see me walking around all over the place. So, but let's say I've recorded for an hour. I drag in my intro, drag in my hour, drag in the outro, and sort of, you know, trim it at the ends because there'll always be a little bit of a delay and stuff like that. Now, the little thumbs ups that I've started putting in at the beginning and the end of my videos, they get dragged in. They don't add any time to it as such. Now, to render that video in 30 frames per second with 20,000 kilobits of what's it called? Keyframes, that sort of stuff. So quite high quality. As best quality as I can, because I don't want the Elgato capture to be diminished by me rendering it again as much as I can. In order to do that, if I've got an hour's worth, it's going to take basically another hour to render it at that quality. So it's taken me an hour to record it. It's taken me maybe 10 minutes or so to piece it all together on a simple one. If it's something like Kingdom Come where I've got to crop out loads of bits, that editing process can take me half an hour. And then you've got an hour's recording, whatever time it takes, say 15, 20, half an hour to edit it down, and then another hour to render it, and then another hour to then put it up. And I've got pretty fast broadband, but it still takes an hour's video about an hour to get onto YouTube. So you're looking at minimum 3 hours for me to do an hour's gameplay, an hour's render, an hour's upload. And even after it's uploaded, you guys will be waiting, what, another 20 minutes for it to process? So, but from my perspective, that's 3 hours worth of work, minimum, to get one video onto YouTube. Now, I realise that the uploading process, you know, I can leave that running away in the background. However, what it does mean is I can't really go recording anything else while it's doing that, because it gets massively resource heavy trying to upload and record at the same time. I mean, I've got a pretty powerful laptop, so it might be able to do it, but I never try and do the two at once. So at most, at any given evening, if I really push it and come home and just as early as I can and just record, you're only going to see a couple of episodes recorded, tweaked and ready to go up within an evening at most. So really, realistically, you might be looking at one a night if I could do it every night. And then there's the weekend. So the reason I'm explaining all of this is just to try and get across to you that it's not... I know that a lot of people on YouTube just record it and throw it up as it is, and they don't do anything else with it, and that's fine, you know, but that's not what I'm about, and I like all of my videos to have the care and attention put on them and the brand stamped on either side of the intro, outro and everything else, so people know immediately when they come across one of my videos, it's like, oh, there's that guy, it's the same intro, outro, it's that guy again. So it's a very conscious thing that I do, and I don't post any videos up without doing that, unless it's very rare that I do it, but if I do a PS4 share, obviously that won't. I'm going to have another sip of my beer. My throat's very dry, people. So really, it's just to get across to you how much effort's involved in doing it. And it's absolutely fine. I mean, I love doing the channel most of the time, but every now and then, when that starts feeling like work, I just take my foot off the gas a little bit, and I try and push up a video or whatever. Whenever I'm feeling a bit upbeat, I kind of push out a video. So that's why there's only been... And when a new game comes out, like Titan Quest did, I wanted to show that off, and I got a bit of a buzz about it. So obviously I fired into plenty of episodes of that initially. So that it's really... Like, if I was doing it full time, it'd be completely different. But obviously that I'm not in a position to do that. So I have to make sure that when I do it, it's fun. Otherwise it's not really worth doing. And that's solely the reason that it's been quite quiet on the channel. I felt like I needed to take my foot off the gas and just step back a little bit. So, you know, don't worry that I've vanished, or, you know, or I'm not liking it as much as I used to. It's just every now and then I just need to pull it back a bit, because if I don't, then I really will be in trouble, because if I feel like I'm forcing it up, eventually I'll just go out to hell with it. So really it's a case of posting stuff up when I really feel like I want to do it. And I've been through a bit of a phase recently where I've wanted to be sort of out and about. I've been getting back into the gym, and I've wanted to spend time at the gym without feeling the rush and pressure to come back, so that I've got enough time to do stuff before I, because I don't really feel like I then get a chance to chill out in the evening. Because if I'm doing it every night and if I go to the gym 3 nights a week, I don't get back till a little bit later, and then I'm rushing to cook me dinner in order to then eat that, scoff that down, then record, then get it sorted, try and get it uploaded, and then there's really little time left for me to chill out and just relax for the evening. So it's just a balance, and I don't mind firing at the channel on all cylinders like I did for sort of pre-Christmas and just after Christmas. I spent a lot of time just pummeling into it, doing loads of different games, and that's fine when my mind's in that zone. But every now and then I need to just sort of rein it back in a bit, and that's the only reason that it's been a bit quieter. But I'll always try and ensure that I get 1 or 2 videos up a week when I'm feeling a bit more upbeat and try and fire into it. So I haven't been actually playing, so that's done, that's said, and that's why. But I haven't actually been playing that much, because I've been sort of binge watching. I binge watched things like The Big Bang Theory that I'd never managed to watch yet, so I managed to pile through 10 seasons of that. I've not gotten to the new one yet because it's not on Netflix yet. And iZombie, I just got into that, and that was actually surprisingly good. So I've just sort of binge watched that, and I'm up to date with that now. There's all sorts of things I've been sort of cracking into and trying to just relax in a different way. So I've not really been gaming. And another thing that's been bugging me about doing the channel is that because of these times that I kind of take my foot off the gas, I never feel like playing any of the games that I've been doing on the channel. So I have a gazillion games that I've never finished. I can't remember the last time I played a game from beginning to end. And it's because everything I'm doing is on the channel. So whenever I think about playing it, it's like, well, I don't want to play it because then I'm going to be out of sync with what I was doing with the channel. So it's really been bugging me that I've not been able to just sit and enjoy a game from beginning to end, without that pressure of having to like record it and just enjoy the game for what it is. So that's kind of another thing that's been sort of playing on my mind a little bit. And with that in mind, ages ago, I bought the Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition on the PS4, and I've just never played it. And so I do this when I see a game at a really good price, I kind of buy it and it just goes in the stack and I'll play it at some point. I've got XCOM 2 there, I've got all sorts of games I've not played. And so I picked that up 2 nights ago, and I thought, to hell with it, I'm going to throw Sleeping Dogs in. And I played that game on the PS3, and I loved it to pieces. And I've been playing it for 2 nights solid, and a bit of today when I came back from gym. And I just adore that game. Honest to God, that game is possibly... I mean, well, it's most definitely, I think, in my top 5 games that of all time, that I've loved, like got proper soaked in it and just loved every second of it. And for anyone that's not played it or even looked at it, if you can imagine a kind of Grand Theft Auto sort of cut right back, but you've still got an open world to explore, but it's not anywhere near as ridiculous as Grand Theft Auto in its size. It's just sort of trim that back a bit and then set it in Hong Kong, stick martial arts in it, and you've still, you've got you've got loads of different sort of upgrade paths you can take. You've got the Triad, you've got the Cop, you've got the, all sorts of stuff. If anyone has never looked at that game or tried it, I can't recommend it enough. I mean, it really is one of those games where, you've got the main story quests to do, you've got loads of side quests to do for different types of groups, the Triads, the Cops, and everything else. You've got racing games in there, you've got a karaoke game in there that's absolutely priceless. It's really, really good and addictive. You've got, the racing games themselves are awesome fun, because half the time you try to smash cars up, other times you just got to win the race. And the martial arts stuff is fantastic. The fighting system is very similar to Batman, whereas you're doing the riposte and then the smash and all that sort of stuff's in it, and you can build up your moves. There's combo button combo hits you can pick up, and there's when you collect certain statues, you go to this guy and he trains you where you pick out what it is you want to learn from the tree, and you're sort of in this martial art. Forgetting the word for the place, people, but the martial art gym basically, and you train with the guys in there. It's absolutely brilliant, and the soundtrack is brilliant. And just like Grand Theft Auto, where every time you get into a car, there's different radio stations you can flick through, and the music is sublime. I kid you not, it is absolutely fantastic. And I remember, I haven't got to that part in the PS4 version yet, but on the PS3 version, I had this priceless moment. It was just incredible, where I ended up on a speedboat. I can't remember if I was just roaming around or whether I was on the way to a mission or something, but I jumped in a speedboat, like a proper massive one, and I was cruising around the Hong Kong harbours, and this sort of 80s music came on, and it was absolutely, I mean, it's not all 80s music, it's not set in the 80s, it's just that channel was on 80s. And I just was in this sublime moment of smiling and just cruising around this harbour. I mean, it is absolutely brilliant. And the story's brilliant as well. So if you haven't played it or even looked at it, I can't recommend it enough. And it's a perfect time. And I'm going to jump a little bit ahead of myself here. But it's a perfect time to play it because on the PS4 store, on the PlayStation store, it's £3.69. I mean, that is ridiculous, people. £3.69. It's a no-brainer. If you haven't even if you've not played that game, go and buy it right now. And if you don't, I'm going to be sending people around to your house because it's just ridiculously good. It's such a good game. So yeah, that's my big recommendation of the day. We're going to get down to some more deals that I found on the store as I was going around. The other, I wanted to talk about, I'm going to have another sip of my beer. It's not like me to sip my beer through the vlog, but I'm quite liking the process of this. Normally I have a sip at the beginning and a sip at the end. I was really disappointed when I went on because I thought, oh, Easter sales are on the stores. I've also been looking at the places I shop for games in the UK are Shop2, the Game Collection, and at Simply Games. If you're not looking at, well, Shop2 I think most people know about, but the Game Collection and Simply Games, but it's at Simply Games on Twitter. Those three places online always have cracking deals on at the same time the store do. So if you want disc copies of games, and they're way better than Amazon because it doesn't matter how cheap the game is, it's still free delivery. So, and it usually arrives next day. I mean, they're super quick. So, but these deals I'm about to talk about are from the store itself. However, I looked at the Microsoft store and I was like, wow, these deals are awesome. But 99% of every deal needed you to be a gold member. And it's like, why? You know what I mean? It's like, honest to God, I couldn't find one deal that was worth talking about unless you were a gold member. Whereas on the PlayStation store, it's the other way around. Like hardly any of them are only if you're a Plus member. So I was really disappointed with that. And I think it's a harsh way of trying to force gold membership on people. Like, I don't think you should be forcing people that dramatically into your gold membership simply to get bargains. I think it's important that you do get singular bargains for particular types of games. Maybe, you know, pick 3 games out of that whole thing that maybe you need to be a gold member for, and it might tempt people to do it. But you're killing your sales if you're expecting people to... Because it's like every deal. It's like, all right, so I've now got to spend either $5.99 on top of what I was about to pay just for that month's worth of gold membership, or it might be more than that now. So I was really frustrated with that. So I immediately went on to the PlayStation when I started looking at that. So none of the prices I'm about to give out are Microsoft because I can't be bothered with that. So, I mean, every now and then, if I'm going to be playing something online with my mates, then I'll get gold. But other than that, there's no point. So... Anyway, so here we are. So here's some crackers, right? So I've tried to pick out it was seeing Sleeping Dogs at 369 that got me to looking at other stuff. So I've tried to pluck out RPG games because I know most people that watch my channel are RPG people, or RPG-esque games. So, or games with RPG elements in them is what I'm getting at. So for those that haven't invested in Fallout 4 yet, I mean, I don't think many people watching this channel, unless you really don't like Fallout type worlds, won't have played it yet. But the Game of the Year edition is sitting at $19.99 on the store, and that's a cracking price because the Game of the Year edition has, as all these versions do, all of the DLC, and the DLC is 20 quid on its own. Nearly all year round. I think it's 20 quid on its own, and unless you manage to get it at a really cheap price at some point on sale or something. So I mean, that is a crack. If you've not got Fallout 4 yet and you've been tempted by it, that you're not going to get a better deal than that to include all of the DLC. You'll find the game, at 7 to 10 quid now on disc, but that DLC is worth 20 quid on its own. So it's well worth getting the Game of the Year edition. I'm not sure if there's anything extra with it. I think it is literally all of that. There's a lot of DLC though. I mean, Fallout has so much DLC with it. It's incredible. I mean, I spent a good amount of time in Far Harbor alone. I mean, that was a cracking. I mean, it's a whole new area with new weapons, new people, new quests. I mean, new places to build your towns and stuff. Absolutely brilliant. Skyrim was sitting at $15.99, the remaster. I mean, I can't imagine anyone watching this channel has not played Skyrim on the PS4 yet, but $15.99 for Skyrim. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, £6.19. That's ridiculous. Now, that's a game that I did one recording for on the channel ages ago. I think it was only one. It might have been two. I think it was one, though. And I haven't got back to it yet because it came around at a time I had loads of other games. I've just never had the itch to play it yet. But I loved the original Deus Ex, and this one looked incredible when I played the beginning of it. So for £6.19, it's, again, a no-brainer if you've had an inkling to play it. Now's the time, people. Lords of the Fallen. Right, now this is a Dark Souls-esque game, and really plays really smoothly. There's a little bit of screen tearing on the standard PS4 version, I think, but when I played it on the Pro, and I've played it on the Xbox One X as well, I think, in fact, the Xbox One X plays smoother than the others, but it does play it plays smoothly. I mean, it's a smooth playing game. There is a bit of screen tearing here and there. But for £3.29, it's well worth the go if you're into that type of game. Pillars of Eternity at £15.49. There's a load of people watch my channel that love Pillars of Eternity, and a lot of people want me to play it again as well. And I will give that a bit of thought, because I didn't stop playing it because I wasn't enjoying it. I stopped playing it because a load of other stuff came around at the same time. And every time I've thought about going back to it, I've thought, Christ, where was I? I'll need to look up what I was doing at the time. But for £15.49, that is a cracking RPG. And if you like that top-down sort of turn-based battle systems and don't mind a bit of reading because it's not all voiced over, then, I mean, you can see, if you go and look for the playlist on the channel, I did a good amount of episodes before I stopped. So I may well get back to that. £15.49. Now, the prerequisite with that is a Plus offer. So I don't know what it is if you're not a Plus member, but it was £15.49 if you're a Plus member. Lichtenstein Battle Mage, which I also did how many episodes did I do? I did maybe 2 or 3 episodes of Lichtenstein Battle Mage, maybe more, I can't remember now. That's at £11.99, and that's a cracking bit of fun if you just want more of an action RPG without having to think about it too much. There's no real looting or anything in the game. It's really run around, use all sorts of combinations of magic to obliterate stuff in front of you, and there's just so much stuff to unlock and upgrade. It's ridiculous. $11.99 for that. Diablo 3, the Eternal Collection, which is every piece of DLC, and I think it includes the new class that was added to Diablo. That's $19.99, a cracking offer, that. I mean, there's so much content in Diablo. The Witcher 3 at $11.99, or the Game of the Year edition at $15.99, and that is probably my favourite RPG of all time, just because it was so good at its questing and side quests, and didn't ask you to grind. I mean, the best way to level up in that game was doing story and quests. Bioshock Collection at £11.49, all three. I'm assuming it. Yeah, it has to be the collect. Yeah, it's 3 of them, isn't it? So it must include Infinite as well. So the Bioshock Collection, the remastered one, at $11.49. Batman Arkham Knight at $11.99, XCOM 2 at $11.99, and Tomb Raider Remastered, which was PS3 remastered onto PS4, at £4.99. It's like, what? That's outrageous, people. It really is. I picked up Titanfall 2 because my son played it and said it was just an absolute blast. It's a really short campaign, but really, really good fun. And he said it was the best fun he'd had in a game in a long time. And he's not really into shooters. So I saw it for £5 at the Game Collection, I think it was. It was either Simply Games or the Game Collection. It arrived the other day. And for £5, I thought, yeah, hell with that. I'm going to give that a go. So that's arrived. So I'm not playing it on the channel. It'll just be for me to have a blast at off camera. And there we are. There we are. I mean, there was a gazillion offers on in Simply Games and Game Collection. And I'm sure Amazon have as well. But I really avoid Amazon for my game purchases now because you've got to spend £20 to get free delivery. And it's like, well, there's no point. I hate that about Amazon. If there was one company that could afford not to bother with all of that, it's Amazon. But the reason they do it is because they want people to buy into Amazon Prime so that they get all this Amazon Prime thing that you pay a certain amount of the month and you get everything free delivery. It's like, why? Every other shop gives me free delivery anyway. Yeah, I really wish someone would come along that would compete with Amazon because there's just so much stuff. I mean, I use Amazon still, but when it comes to games, I avoid it and try and get it everywhere else. So there you are. That is it. That is my Easter vlog. Not an Easter vlog, really, but you know what I mean. Easter weekend vlog. It's been an honour and a privilege, as always, chatting with you, sharing my ale. Cheers, everybody. I hope you've got loads of chocolate to eat and eggs and hunts and all sorts going on if you're into that sort of thing. I'm going to go off, enjoy some more of my beverages, my flagons of ale, and enjoy the sun. It's absolutely busting the sun outside, so maybe I'll go and sit in the garden for a minute if it's not too cold outside and enjoy another beer. And I will try and not leave it too long next time before having another vlog. It's been quite a while since I did a vlog. It's got to be at least 4 weeks, maybe longer. But that's been quite nice. Quite enjoyed chatting to myself for a little bit there. As you do. Not heard myself speak for ages. I've missed myself, people. I really have. You guys take it easy. Have a cracking weekend, and I will see you all soon. Take it easy. Bye.